about things changing. That's all I'm
We're
doing.
efforting you being able to say Czabe here in a minute, so just stick with us there, Wayne. But you can, of course, be watching us talk to Wayne on all of our social medias as well, at The Game MKE on Twitter and 97.3 The Game on Instagram and Facebook.
To say Czabe? Oh, to see Czabe.
To see,
okay.
To see you.
Good morning, Wayne. How are you? Okay, let's talk Packers. Packers and Rams Sunday. Packers are 3-point favorites. My God, how do they solve their first half woes? And what do you see from the booth in their first half effort that stands out? Like, you know what? They're not doing this, or they ought to try that.
You know, it seems like it's something different every week, but, some weeks they're not getting a lot of early downs and they're facing third and longs. Other weeks, like last week, a ton of penalties and crucial moments in the first half that take the starch out of their offense. It's not one thing, but it's a compilation of things that they've got to figure out one way or the other, because what somebody said, they were been outscored like 73-9. 73
to 9.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
I've never seen a stat like that at this stage of the season.
Touch count for Aaron Jones. Is he on one? A touch count, a pitch count, something like that. Is LaFleur still talking about that? I know he's been working his way to full strength and full health.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm going to ask Matt about in the interview, pregame interview on Sunday. I'm going to ask him about that, because I agree. We've seen limited amounts of Aaron Jones since the opener. And obviously, both of those backs, they had their chances last week, but I believe Aaron had like maybe 11 touches at most in that game, and he had 40-some yards. So, between the two backs, in the touches they got last week, they only averaged 4.4 yards per touch. And that's something that says to me, well, they really it didn't seem like they ever got lathered up into the game. You know what I mean? And they weren't as productive as we're used to seeing them.
Okay. Are we going to see perhaps more aggressiveness by LaFleur play calling wise in the first half to say, look, I can't worry about maybe making a mistake or a turnover. We've got to try to move the ball.
Well, Jordan Love averages per pass more downfield air yards than any quarterback in the league. So they're throwing the ball downfield, but they're not getting it done downfield. Their yards per catch is way low, way off of that standard. So I think that, I would say, sure, try to loosen them up, make a play downfield early in the game, get some momentum going. They've tried just about everything, though, Czabe, and nothing seems to have worked to get them out of that first half malaise. What would help a lot? A big turnover by the defense. Oh, but they did that against Detroit, right? They got an interception in the red zone, and what do they get out of it? 3 points. So it's been one thing after another, and this first half malaise is not easily solved, apparently.
Wayne, we've heard a lot from different players. They're upset about the trade. They know they need to play better. Like, there's a lot of talking from that group. To me, it feels, and I'm waiting for it, but there has to be a game that comes up where the players just start making plays, where they say enough is enough. We're professional athletes. We've got to step up our level. Does it feel like that's going to come on Sunday?
I hope so. I mean,
not right? Like,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think, like, to me, that I'm waiting for that moment with this group. And have you seen it kind of trend that way? Because there's got to be a game coming up soon where finally guys just say enough is enough. We're professional athletes. We've got to play better.
Well, from my vantage point, in being a layman, I haven't seen anything trending that way. But okay. I think you're right. That's just what has to happen. That you've got to make plays. At some point, you've got to take the ball away. The Rams and Packers are tied for the fewest takeaways in the NFL with 6. The Rams have played 8 games. The Packers have only played 7. But nonetheless, any way you slice it, you need more takeaways than that to ignite your team, just to turn your opponent away, put your offense in a better field position. It seems to me like the Packers always seem to be starting deep in their own territory, and then they get behind the chains almost immediately with the first down play that doesn't get them a winning number.
Do you play amateur capologist? I don't know if you have thoughts on contracts that get signed, and I just would like to put a quarter in the Wayne jukebox on the Rashawn Gary deal. I thought it was quite a reasonable deal. I thought the Packers did well. Goody did well with it.
Yeah, I thought so too. Rashawn wants to be here. He's taken ownership in this team. It was a deal that, yeah, could he have gotten more on the open market? Yeah, if his trend continued through the rest of this season and he didn't get hurt. Yeah, I mean, he could probably gotten more on the open market if let's say he went to the open market with 9-10 sacks and was first or second in the league in pressures. You take a look at those numbers on the open market. But, I think Rashawn and the Packers wanted to get something done. They want this marriage to last, and it was good to see. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it was a good deal both ways, but especially for the Packers.
This is the third straight year they'll play the Rams. They played them twice in 2021 season. And then they're going to play them 4 times in the last 5 years. This is one of those NFC opponents that's not in the division that you say to yourself, man, we play these guys all the time.
Yeah, it is. And McVay and LaFleur, the coaching matchup is also intriguing. They worked together for a long time. And I know Sean McVay is the guy that Matt LaFleur really looks to as his true mentor. And then, of course, Mike LaFleur, Matt's brother, is now the offensive coordinator of the Rams. So it's interesting from that standpoint. But you know what? These teams, if you go, those of us of a certain age, Butchie, you're not of that age. Neither are you, Josh. Zabe, you're probably not either. But these teams used to get together twice a year anyway, when it was the old NFL Western Conference. Remember that?
Oh, my God. That goes way back. What year did the old NFL West fold up before they created the Central?
After the 66 season. Yeah. So 67 was the first year of divisional play.
Way back
of a certain age. I'm sorry. Red Hot Tim Scott took me off your show because I'm not contemporary. My gosh.
Exactly. I'm fully counting on Stafford playing in this game.
I am too.
Is that the right way to approach it?
He's going to play. I've seen Brett Favre play through a thumb injury. I saw Aaron Rodgers do it last year. Matthew Stafford is as tough as any quarterback I've ever seen. I think he's going to play. What you don't know is how well he'll throw the football.
Wayne, you talked a lot about turnovers. Obviously, Rasul Douglas gets traded away. He's a guy that was able to get turnovers for this team at times throughout the last couple of years. Who has to step up on that defensive end now and that defensive side now that he's gone? Because there's a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah, the opportunities really for Carrington Valentine, the 7th-round draft choice, who was so good in the preseason. But it's not preseason anymore, and we're finding that out. And he's had his ups and downs during the regular season. So he's the guy that really has to step up. I think the safeties also have to get more involved in terms of takeaways. And that's something I look, again, Ford, I think, has had a very good year, Rudy Ford. I look for him to kind of take the lead in that regard. But Jair Alexander, if you look at the metrics, has not had a Jair-type year. And why? Well, maybe it's the back injury that's been bothering him all season. That's probably the reason why. But, this is a guy who needs to really return to form and become a dominant cornerback in this league. And, make a couple of takeaways.
What do you do to try to block Aaron Donald?
Wow. I think you basically roll your pocket away from him wherever he is. You try to maybe run at him a little bit. That would help some. But he's such a great player, Zabe. The best interior player I've seen in a long, long time. There are many imitators. There is only one Aaron Donald, and he just keeps getting it done. His leverage, he's not a tall guy. So his leverage, he is extremely slippery, as the scouts would say, and just about unblockable. And, he can blow up a game. He's one of those guys. I think you try double team blocking him, that kind of thing. And I'm watching him against in this Dallas game. They're double teaming him, and he's still getting into the backfield making plays. So, you've really got to kind of scheme around him, because if you don't want to allow him to take over the game, which he's certainly capable of doing.
All right, exit question. 52 for a high forecast. We'll see what actually game day brings, plus wind, plus clouds, whatever. I'm wearing my full Carhartt overalls. Is that too much to wear from your 52-degree game?
I think in 52 degrees, we should go over to Thornberry Creek and hit a bucket of balls before we
Attaboy.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I'll see how I can swing in my swing boots and my Carhartts. I'll do my best on the range, but I will not be cold for this game.
We have got a 52-degree day in November. Let's take advantage of it, people.
These are the good days. Josh, you gonna wear a hoodie and shorts?
Not shorts.
Not
I'm gonna wear a
shorts.
hoodie.
Okay.
I'll need a
All right.
jacket in 50.
No,
Okay.
Josh, you got to go all Belichick on us now. Hoodie,
Yeah.
shorts, and cut off the sleeves.
That's right. No one wants to see that, Wayne. I promise you, no one wants to see that.
All right, Wayne, have a great call. I know you will. We'll hear you right here on the home of the Packers on Sunday.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you early Monday morning. Take care.
Thank you. Wayne Larrivee.